Hi, it's Phyllis. Today's project is going to be my pink fringed pendant, which can also be made as an earring. But today's project is a pendant project. I just added a bail and some chain, and I'm just going to put it around my neck and keep it moving. So stand by for my materials so that we can start. The materials for today's project are going to be, I'm using this gold-filled steel oval jump ring. I'm going to use one of these out of this package as a bail. This is Rolo chain. It's a 3mm Rolo chain. It's an 18-inch chain. It already has a lobster clasp attached to it. So this is just, to make a quick little project. I'm interrupting my raw series just to do this quick little pendant. Then I'm using my green label beads that I got from Michael's. I'll use one of the 10mm pearls and roughly 14 of the 4mm pearls. For seed beads, I'm using my Yuki 11-0 and the silver lined light gold. I'll be using many more than this because it's a fringe project. That's a size 12 beading needle. And my beading thread is going to be my Nozu Sonoko in the natural color. And the reason I'm using regular thread is because it is a fringe project, and the fringes won't lay as nicely if you use Fireline. Fireline is too stiff. Wildfire is absolutely too stiff. Even monofilaments, all of them are too stiff. So this is 100% nylon, and again, like I said, it's in the natural color. And I'm gonna condition the thread with my beeswax. So let's get our materials all together and we'll start. Obviously, we can't do a project without having my nippers and my flat nose pliers. Okay, we'll start. I conditioned 1.5 yards of my thread with my beeswax, and I threaded it on to my needle. I'm going to begin by stringing on the 10mm pearl and pull my thread down to about 3 or 4 inches. We're just going to tie it off, and I'm going to string on 11 of my seed beads. And I'm going to pull those down to the work. I'm going to tie this work, my working thread and my tail thread, into one overhand knot. And this time I'm going to run my thread twice through the loop for a double knot. And pull down. Make sure that you don't get your knot caught in the beads. I'm going to pass my needle through the pearl, pull the thread, and string on another 11 seed beads. After stringing on my 11, you have my working thread is exiting this side of the pearl. I'm gonna nip off this tail. So again, my working thread is coming out of this side of the pearl. I'm going to run my needle through the back side of the pearl and pull the thread going in the same direction as we did before. Once here, I'm going to reinforce my size 11 seed beads. I went through these 11 seed beads. I'm just gonna hold this thread with my finger and just make sure that the thread is tight there. Once here, I'll string on one size 11 seed bead, and I'm gonna pass the needle through these 11. String on one size 11 seed bead, and this time pass through 6 of your size 11 seed beads. Then string on 10 of your size 11 seed beads. Pass the needle back through the same size 11 seed bead you're coming out of, back through. So what I mean by that is your working thread is exiting this direction, and you're going to go right back through the back side of that same seed bead and pull your thread. Now we'll reinforce this bail part by making sure we go through all of the seed beads. Don't miss any, because you might have a different shape. It might be something you like, but currently I'm not looking for anything except reinforcement. Don't worry if your thread loosens up, because that's the reason for reinforcement. Now you've gone through these 10 size 11 seed beads, and now again we're going right back through that size 11 seed bead here, that 6th one that we attached our bail through, and we're going to continue passing through the remainder of the 11 seed beads. And we're going to go through that single seed bead that we placed on there, and 3 more. Gotta go through 1 more. Yep, 3 more. And here we'll begin adding our fringe. Now I'm here, and we're going to begin adding our fringe. We're going to do that by first stringing on 5 of my seed beads, 1 of my 4mm pearls, 13 of my four size 11 seed beads. Good grief. One 4mm pearl and 1 size 11 seed bead. I'm going to pull all these down or to the work, not too tightly, because we don't want to choke them, and then, you know, risk the chance that they won't hang nicely. So now, in order to complete the fringe, I'm going to run my needle and thread back through all of these seed beads. I'm skipping over that last size 11 seed bead that I strung on, and I'm going to run my needle and thread back through all of these seed beads and pull my thread. This is a normal thing for the whole thing to pull apart. Don't worry. If it happens to you, you're normal. It is okay. So I have pulled my thread back through all of those beads, and I'm gonna just hold on to that little size 11 seed bead and make sure that there is no room, no holes or gaps between where I started the fringe and where I'm ending it. And when I get back up here, I'm going to go back into this first seed bead where I made the first fringe. I'm going to go back into it. I'm going to pass through it and the next size 11 seed bead in line. To make the second fringe, we need to string on 7 seed beads, 1 pearl, 15 seed beads, 1 pearl, and 1 seed bead. So the count here for the second one is 7, 1, 15, 1, and 1 seed bead. And we're going to skip over that last size 11 seed bead and pass our needle through all of these seed beads and pearls. And pull our thread. And in order to eliminate the gap, hold on to the size 11 seed bead at the bottom and just tighten up the thread where you need it to be. Once here, and I see I still have a little bit of a gap. All right. You need your dexterity, some pinkies and ring fingers and stuff in order to get that properly attached. Okay, now once here, we're going to take pass our needle back through that same size 11 seed bead where we began. So we're coming out of this side of this seed bead, and we're going to pass our needle back through the back side of that seed bead and the next seed bead and pull the thread. The count for the third fringe is 9 size 11 seed beads, 1 4mm pearl, 17 size 11 seed beads, 1 4mm pearl, and 1 seed bead. We're going to skip over that last seed bead and we're going to pass our needle through all of these. My needle isn't long enough to make it through all of these beads, but that is okay. I'm going to turn it this way so that I can get a better hold of it. Hold on to my size 11 seed bead at the bottom here and pull the rest of the beads up. And now I can finish passing my needle through the rest of these seed beads. Don't be alarmed. I only flipped it over. It looks like we're going left to right, but we're really going right to left to make this fringe. All right, now we're here at the top of these seed beads. We exited this seed bead right here to begin the fringe, and what we're going to do is run our needle and thread back through that same seed bead. through the next one. And get your fringes out of the way and pull your thread. The bead count for our next center fringe is the longest fringe that we're putting on. So I have 11 seed beads, 1 4mm pearl, 19 seed beads, 1 4mm pearl, and 1 size 11 seed bead. We're going to skip over that size 11 seed bead and pass our needle back through all of these beads like we've been doing. It's pretty fiddly. As you can see from my passing that I have a gap, but that is okay. We have the solution for the gap. Hold on to the bottom, that size 11 seed bead, and use your dexterity to hold on to these beads and pull up that size 11 seed bead, so there is no gap here. Now, for the purpose of not making this video any longer, this center seed fringe is the longest fringe that we're adding. In order to complete adding the fringes, you just do the same exact count as you did on the way down. Your next fringe is going to mirror this fringe. The following fringe is going to mirror this fringe, and then your final fringe will mirror the first one that you put on. And once you have attached all of your fringes, I'm going to do mine off camera, and we'll come back. I will come back with you and show you how I finish it off and add my bail and my chain. I completed adding my fringes, and I actually reinforced my circle here a couple of times, and I just randomly exited out of this size 11 seed bead right here. And I'm going to make my half hitch knot by passing my needle up under the thread where I want to make the knot, which happens to be where my thread is randomly exiting. I pull up a loop and then I'm going to pass my needle through the loop twice. And when I pull the thread, that knot just goes right there between those two seed beads. Pass the needle through several of these seed beads, and pop that knot right in there so that you can't see it. And I've gone around so many times that, well, twice I reinforced, and I'm just gonna stretch my thread and nip it off. And that completes my pendant. You can make this an earring. You can do some right angle weave and not make a fringed bracelet, but you could do a nice matching bracelet. But this right now, for the purpose of the video, it's a pendant. If you just want to make it an earring, just add an ear wire and you have a cute earring. But this is a pendant, and I'm going to finish mine off by attaching my bail and the chain. So I'm using the gold filled steel chain. I have metal allergies, so I like to use a lot of steel, stainless steel things. So this chain is also gold filled steel, and it already has a lobster clasp on it. It's an 18-inch chain. So I'm going to finish off my project and also I had to change up. I had to get my chain nose pliers because I can't open this jump ring without 2 pliers. So in order for me to open it, I'm just going to take my pliers and twist. I'm going to hold on tightly to both sides and I'm going to twist so that they open like this. I'm going to place my chain there and also place my pendant on and get my chain nose again, and this time twist these sides together. And just keep twisting just to make sure that there are no gaps between, so that my chain can't slide out and my pendant can't slide out. And after that, you have a cute pendant. Of course, it's going to tangle up while I'm making a video, but that has been par for my course. All right, and there you have it. A fringed pendant. I hope you like it, and I hope you make it. See you next time.